Hey guys, good afternoon. So we have one more series of our business chat, and I'm happy to introduce you guys with Roger from A&E Leisure, co-UK. Roger, thank you so much for your time. It was nice for me to invite you because like your project is a little bit of unique. You're not just selling the stuff, but you're actually executing the business. You have, from what I understand, you have your own the company when you restore, remodel, fix the
Yeah.
stuff. So if you have like 3 minutes of your your pitch, what you guys do, how it's all started and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we started the business. I started the business in 2011 when the business I worked for went into administration and went bust. We started off three of us as a service and repair for caravans and motorhomes. And within a year, we moved sites, opened a small shop. That would have been about just before 2013. We traded in a small shop, then moved to a larger shop where we could display more products, larger items, caravan, motorhome awnings and accessories. It would have been around 2017 when we started a little bit with eBay, looking at an online e-commerce platform, and started in a fairly small way. I think maybe we did about 20,000, 30,000 pounds online and eBay during that year. eBay is quite expensive to sell, and so we tried to get as much of the turnover across to like an e-commerce platform. We've probably got the turnover to about 60, 70,000 a year. Last year, maybe just a touch under 100,000 a year online. Okay, so we have the shop turnover as well, and we have the service. We have a body shop. We do about 2 million a year turnover as a business. But we didn't seem to be able to get going with the e-commerce. The company we use, we've used two companies before we came to you, Paul. And the first company got us going. It was very much an all-rounder. A friend of mine, still friends today, but didn't really specialize really in sort of the Magento platform. So we moved to another company. I mean, we spent a lot of money with that company, and didn't really get very. We got a new website, but I felt we were always challenging them and asking them to do things for us, rather than them showing us what could be done and how much it was going to cost. We were just on a retainer and just spending money every month. When we went to you guys, that's when it really started to take off, if I'm honest. So I credit you with that, Paul, to be fair. You got a really good sense of direction, and we got a lot of things sorted out, which kind of opened up the floodgates, really. When the UK went into lockdown in March, was just before that. I think we shifted over to you guys, sacked the old company. In fact, we were talking about it since I think November, December last year, and it was a bit sticky trying to get away from the old company, really. But we managed to do it. We pulled the websites over to you guys, and when sort of lockdown hit, I put a lot of our resources and our time into the e-commerce side of things, coupled with what you guys did as well, put us in a good place. I would say the UK sort of business shifted massively towards online. No, people weren't visiting shops. Shops were shut. Our shop was closed, and we saw the online sort of take off. We've done sort of Google marketing campaigns as well, and I think last month I think we turned over about 150 grand online within the month. 3 weeks into July, we'd done our entire online turnover of last year. And even now in September, although things are quietening off a little bit, the industry goes a little bit more quiet over the winter period, UK. Plus, we've got all sorts of things going on at the moment, as you know. But we're still seeing some good numbers, some good figures, and that's where we are today.
That's good to know. To be quite honest, I don't expect this discussion to turn over into advertisement of our company. So,
Okay, well,
let's focus on getting like what you guys do, right stuff. Because
okay,
I'm not trying to promote Mage Cloud at any business talks. It's more just to share. So okay,
yeah,
so couple of stuff that I really want to ask. So you mentioned you eventually started like your setup is a little bit unique. So you have WordPress as your
yeah,
as your service front end, right? Basically
yeah,
when you advertise the different services, and then you have Magento more like the e-commerce store. And from what I understand, originally, again, maybe that's my mistake, but originally seems like you were quite focused only on the service business originally.
yeah.
So I mean, as of now, let's say, I don't know if you can disclose that, but not like, I would say in percentage level, online sales versus with the service income, what's the percentage?
We're probably about turnover wise 50-50 at the moment.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's good numbers. But in
yeah.
terms of, you mentioned that you're running like Google Ads on eBay, it's obviously about just selling online products. About Google Ads, do you
Mhm.
mean you run the campaigns for e-commerce side of things or more for the service level?
We run a shopping campaign
Uh-huh, Google
for the
Shopping, right?
e-commerce, and we run a very small campaign for the business.
Okay.
It's not been tailored really. It's only very low spend. That is something that we are going to push more with the service side, with some of the newer products that we're going to do. We're
Mm-hmm.
kind of pushing more into sort of uh, newer technologies, lithium ion batteries for motorhomes, caravans, standalone power systems where use of solar technology
Mm-hmm.
to run through charging systems into lithium batteries so that people don't have to plug in
Mm-hmm.
when they go to sites. They're very much what we've seen sort of in the UK is a lot of people just wanting to isolate a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
and not have to plug in, not have to conform going on regular sites. Just basically take off on a Friday evening, and they've got everything they need in their caravan, in their motor home, and not have to depend on anything else or anyone else. So
Mm-hmm.
we're really trying to cater towards that market.
Well, what happened with your strategy with SEO, email marketing, Facebook, social? Do you do anything in those channels specifically?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go one by one. Email marketing, we do. We send out depending on what the need of the business is. But we have about I would say about 4 or 5 thousand people uh, a database, and that's in fact it's probably more than that now, Paul. That was probably the last count when we tipped data into from our CRM into the mail shot system that we use. I would say it's probably another 1,000, 2,000 at least on top of that. So and we mail shot them to do with e-commerce, to do with news for the business, new products, things like that. I mean, there's always that thing. The busier you get, the less time you have, the less marketing you do. And I would say we haven't sent a mail shot out for the last 2 or 3 months, so I know that's a little bit. But it's reality. At the moment, I'll be honest. With the upturn in business that we've had on e-commerce, I've had to take on a guy sorting the warehouse out. We've had to get a warehouse. We've had people processing orders. We really are trying to keep up with the demand. We're doing a really good job, but a lot of us are kind of walking around, running around, very tired at the moment. you know, Good problem to have. Facebook, we do have We do have a Facebook page, which we don't do a lot through, but we do have a Facebook group, which is because we deal with a lot of UK manufacturers of awnings and accessories. We found that a lot of the younger people in our industry like to shop on Facebook. So they might not necessarily go through Marketplace, although we do use Marketplace a little bit. But they will send private messages to this group. They will chat amongst themselves within this group about what products they want to buy. And then when they're ready to buy, we send them a link from our website, click through, and they purchase. Works quite well, actually. And we have a woman who does that for us.
That's you know what, like I really enjoy this conversation since you're sharing the information that probably other business owners they would not really share, because it's more like the way how you run the business. So that's a good place
Yeah.
for your competitors to kind of catch the idea and kind of run this through.
Well.
Yeah, but again, so it's more, it's all about the, how to execute that's correct. All right, so let's think about that. So you mentioned, so basically you're almost like 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah. Coming up.
2011.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
10 years turn out next year. If you look back, do you recall maybe the moment when kind of you can say, hey Paul, one of my biggest mistake in the business was like, I don't know, ABC, something like that. What type of mistakes potentially,
Oh,
you could have,
we make mistakes all the time.
which is good. Yeah, that's how, yeah.
What would if I would say that once we established a turnover and a reasonable profit, probably greater investment and even going and borrowing money to invest further into the business would have probably accelerated our growth faster. I mean, it's difficult to know where you can pile money into a business to get it going faster, but I think that we could have probably grown with the right people in the right place, and it's all about people and people that you work with, not just within the business but outside of the business. And I suppose one of the things that I've come to realize, that if it doesn't feel right, it isn't right. So if it's hard work dealing with a member of staff, if it's hard work dealing with an outside contractor, then they're not right for you. If you're having to do all the work for them, then it's no good. And I think that's probably one of the things that has held us up, in the past. But I've got to say, we have a great team, and it's not just about me. We are sort of splitting the business out into different areas of responsibility where people have got their own areas to grow, and that seems to be working well. And I'm focusing quite heavily on the shop and the e-commerce side at the moment. So yeah, I'd say it's about people, and you'll always make mistakes. Mistakes are great. You'll learn a lot. You either win or you learn. I've always said that no matter what I do. Yeah, it's about the people. It's about the people really, and then making it easy for the business to grow.
So one question that I have in mind for your business, like most of my clients, it's only online stores, right? So they have warehouse, but they don't really have a physical store. In
Okay.
your case, you have a service business. So have you even
Yeah.
think about like being like to franchise the business?
When you say franchise,
I
to
mean,
open more branches.
well, more branches, but not under your control, but maybe like have your brand, I don't know, like sort of like McDonald's style of business, right? When you can buy the franchisee and you pay for the trademark and stuff like that.
Franchise, probably not. And I mean, there are like franchises in the UK. I'm not sure this business lends itself greatly to that, or certainly with my way of thinking. But certainly expanding the business into more branches, yes, I would. I certainly would like to do that at some stage. With online, you don't really need to have multiple physical locations because you can ship all from one location really. But when you've got sort of a physical workshop, body shop, yeah, at some stage I would like to do that. It's been my dream for a few years. Yeah, this I've got to say it has been a nut that I've wanted to crack for a long time. E-commerce, and because that can just be maintained and run. Um, the next stage is I would like to open another branch
I would
somewhere. Yeah.
I would probably point a couple of stuff from my side, right? So our company it's in Ukraine, and but we are
Yeah.
trying right now um, uh, to do our organic in the UK in different cities. So we build the pages
Yes.
for like Magento developer, I don't know, Manchester, Magento developer, Liverpool,
Hmm.
London, and stuff like that. So eventually, this way we can see if we have a demand on the certain area. So
Hmm.
potentially, again, maybe just take it as a quick idea. Maybe
Yeah.
on your side, if you will create some pages for, I don't know, minivan repair plus, let's say, London, minivan repair plus, we know other cities in the UK, right? You'll
Yeah.
start if you will get some sort of positions in Google, top 10, top 3, gathering some leads. At some
Hmm.
point, number one, you can distribute these leads to the partner companies,
Hmm.
or eventually you can tell, hey guys, we're the business, we're getting the prospects who needs repair. They're not gonna drive to your city, right? If something
Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
with minivan. But if you start collecting those leads and the customers, you can then partner with someone or meet in kind of tell people, hey guys, if you wanna
Hmm.
run your own business, we can give you the clients, we can give you trainings,
Hmm.
you can you know come over here for, I don't know, for the 1 month or like
Yeah.
5 days. That's kind of the idea. All right. So this is kind of that's the point. Can I quickly ask you also about the, I would say, international market, because everyone loves travel, and basically other, from what I understand, because of the COVID-19 lockdown, a lot
Yeah.
of people right now afraid to travel, with airlines and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What do you guys do? I mean, do you have any plans, or what do you guys do? You kind of trying to push it, I don't know, to Denmark. Like people, I know people in Denmark, they're trying to be, they active and they still want to kind of travel. I know
Hmm.
people in Germany, even the government in Germany, from if I'm not mistaken, tell people, hey, don't travel, to other countries, stay within the country, and in
Yeah.
many other places. So I think it's a good chunk for the business for you guys as well. Any
Yeah.
ideas about international?
N- No, not really. No. The a lot of manufacturers we deal with are abroad. So we deal with a couple from Denmark. We deal with a couple of manufacturers in the Netherlands, and they sell into those countries. So we sort of we are a retailer that use sort of wholesalers and manufacturers that have products manufactured abroad,
Mm.
that we sort of distribute within the UK. Currently, we get the odd inquiry to ship overseas. We do actually get a few inquiries for New Zealand, actually, but I've never really seen it as a massive opportunity because the opportunity is so great within the UK, especially with the fact that people are not really wanting to travel abroad and wanting to holiday in the UK. That's just made the marketplace bigger, much bigger,
Yeah,
and it's about getting firmly and as quickly as possible into that gap before somebody else does.
I see. Okay.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
So again, coming back to the story about almost 10 years of the company
Yeah.
growth, what do you think would be like the moment when you said, "Hey, that was the lucky moment, like something happens unexpected you win, anything?"
Um, well, um, I mean, business is it's very little about luck and more about hard work, really. And the more you practice, the luckier you get. So it's not really like winning the lottery. where you just put some numbers on and you jackpot. So I would say that businesses kind of you incrementally apply sort of layers, and grow your turnover in that way. The fastest growth we have had is definitely the e-commerce. You know, I mean, yes, it's been accelerated by the fact that we've had the UK lockdown and people have wanted to purchase accessories to go on holiday within the UK. But you've got to be in it to win it. And we had the platform at the right time in the right place to do that. There are still some much bigger competitors playing the same game within that arena that, of course, we're looking at and thinking, well, okay, well, let's see if we can get some market share from them. No doubt they're looking at us going, let's try and keep them out of the business because this is what we want to do. But we've got good reviews, good customer service. We've got a good team, and we'll just keep doing what we do, and hopefully continue to grow the e-commerce.
Awesome, man. So we have about like 4 minutes left, 3 minutes.
Okay.
So basically, like in 3 minutes, what would be
Yeah.
your message to the young entrepreneurs who is starting right now with online sales, or maybe inside of the service area? And like, when you were like key takeaway from your pitch, what you would
Ooh.
say to them?
I mean, I suppose one of the messages, and social media gives people the idea that get rich quick is a real thing. Might be for a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage, but it's not true. In my experience, I have a good life, a good living, and it has come from working hard, being smart as well, and making sure that we build the business, and what's the word? Create a structure, methods, and processes that are strong and that work as we scale. And that's important. You can't fly by the seat of your pants for too long. You've got to do it every now and again. You can't spend too much time planning either. There is that happy medium, and as a managing director of a business, you've got to look to both sides of things. Build a bit, go out, sell for a bit, but ultimately look to grow the business. And I think young people out there, look for an opportunity, learn, hone your craft, know, and be a specialist in your field, and then go out and dominate it.
Man, like that's should be like the keynote of all of our business chat. I really love the last stuff. I mean, that's the coolest thing that I even hear on our business chat session. So, man, I'm so grateful for your time.
All right.
It
Cheers,
was
Paul.
it was also good for me to learn a little bit more insight where you are with your thinking, etc., etc. Know your company culture a little bit.
Yeah.
So thank you very, very much for
All right.
being so fair with me and giving your so to our audience. Wish you all the best. Wish you kick off this year and make
All right.
the 10 years of your company even more successful. And who knows, maybe I should come over here to celebrate.
All right. Cool. Cheers,
Right.
Paul.
Thank you very much.
All the
Bye-bye.
best, mate. See you later. Bye. Bye.